Well, I'm cutting a packet of marquetry using the piece-by-piece method, actually. Multiple copies of a packet on a antique tool made in Paris, the chevalet de marquetry, a tool that was possibly used in the 18th century, but this particular tool was made in 1850. I didn't follow a particular design, but I have actually several copies of this piece I just cut out, all duplicate, identical copies of veneer, which if that was a leaf or a branch or a picture, I could cut out as many as 12 copies. You can actually see the different layers of the veneer, and there's the layer of grease paper and the backer board. And that's all held together by nails, which are driven in around the outside of the pattern. And I use a jeweler's saw blade. It's a number 2/0. It has about 70 or 80 teeth to the inch, and it cuts on the bottom. Teeth are cutting on the push stroke. So all I have to do is to put this in a clamp, which is operated by my feet. I can now apply pressure to hold it, so that's something that you normally just rest your feet on here. And that clamps it so it's not bouncing around. And then by pushing the saw back and forth, the saw runs on this gimbal, which allows me a certain sweet spot by swinging back and forth and sliding front and back. And this particular tool, like all of the chevalets, has an adjustment. This is the sideways one. And the other side has the up and down one over here. And that allows me to adjust the blade here perpendicular in the vertical direction and perpendicular in the horizontal direction. So it's exactly cutting 90 degrees to that vice face. So every time that I cut a piece, it's always going to be the same, no matter if I have 1 copy or 12 copies or 15 copies. Every piece is exactly the same. So this is how they made marquetry, and this is how I make marquetry. And it's an old tool, but it's something that the French kept secret in Paris, and you don't find it generally outside of Paris. And I think it's one of the great tools that the French have developed as a woodworking tool, and I've used it for, about 30 years now.